Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 2K subs. My name is Rashad Milligan. Tonight, I am joined by my guest, Ashy Knuckles, aka Terrell, South Carolina fan. Terrell, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing extremely well. I'm doing extremely well, man. Thank you for asking. And as you guys can see, we're missing one of our partners in crime tonight. Joel is not here with us tonight. Terrell, just I guess just kind of opening it up, just what do you want to say about kind of missing your partner in crime?
Well, I will open up with something about UConn, but being that he's not here, we'll say that for when we link back up. But I wanted to talk about Nneka and her being snubbed from the Nigerian team, which I feel was kind of messed up, being that she is from the country. And I was reading some of the rules, and I can't remember everything right off the head because it was earlier today when I was at work. But basically, it was saying something about you had to play, I think, for the country for like 3 years or something like that. And I think Nneka last year playing Olympic basketball was what, 2018. So if you do the math, I believe that's what, from 2018 to 2021, she should have been eligible, being that they
Yeah,
said three.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And like you say, going more into it, this is a report from Ramona Shelburne. It just came out tonight, which is Thursday night at the time we're recording this. FIBA has denied Nneka Ogwumike and Elizabeth Williams' application to play for Nigeria in the Tokyo Olympics because of previous substantial involvement in USA basketball. Nneka Ogwumike was approved, but with conditions. Story with Michelle Vogel, who Joel likes to call Miss Messi. But he said, after USA Basketball's controversial decision to leave off the former WNBA MVP off the roster, Ogwumike sought to play for Nigeria, telling ESPN, it's something I know my family would be very proud of. I'm hoping it would contribute to the growth we're experiencing for Africa in basketball. Nneka and Nneka Ogwumike and Williams will explore all options, including a possible application to the Court of Arbitration in Sports, sources said. The court could expedite a full hearing if both sides agree. FIBA could also allow them to participate until there is a hearing. Wow. To
What,
recap,
what
Nneka, oh, go ahead.
what I'm trying to understand about the whole situation is that I could see if she was a scrub, but being that she's good, I'm really trying to figure out like what's the big deal of like snubbing her from either USA or Nigeria. It's like
Well,
one of those countries should be happy.
no, no, no. I think it's a difference because USA was, just pure selection. They just passed up on her. And then with this one, Nigeria, the one she wanted to go to because USA said no, it was pretty much just like oh no, you can't just do that. You can't just hop from country to country because you didn't make one team. Team USA is something that, like they said, Elizabeth Williams, the Atlanta Dream, was used to be very involved with too, and she was also in that pool in consideration for the roster this year. So the fact that they both didn't make it and they're trying to get in, people are just like, you can't just really skip what country you want to play for. It's a whole process you have to go through. Like Serge Ibaka, when he wanted to play for Spain, it was a whole process he had to go through. The Nigerian men who beat the U.S. men earlier this week in an exhibition, a lot of those guys who are of just African descent and Nigerian descent, but are Americans and have spent their entire lives in America, those guys had to go through a process to apply for it to play for Nigeria. So they're saying like you can't just be hopping from country to country right before the Olympics. It's pretty much what this case is with Nigeria, because I'm sure Nigeria, like you said, will welcome both Ogwumike sisters and Elizabeth Williams. But with I don't know, it's just like it's more so the rules with Nigeria as
Yeah,
opposed to their snubbing.
basically the powers that be done set their rules, and it's pretty much etched in stone. So
And you know who we have to blame for this, Terrell? It's only one man. Gino Orion. Gino
damn
is
you,
a
Gino.
suspect. Gino once again is struck against the
Hey,
Nigerians and the FIBA, the
you
Federal
see, you see,
International Basketball Association.
You seen what happened when they asked him about her in the Olympic. No comment. No comment. No comment.
Man,
He
we
went to that
okay.
real quick.
Hey, but before we go too far, if people are new to the channel, we are joking. It's sarcasm. Because the last episode we had or whatever, we were getting on Gino and we had this whole kind of conspiracy about Gino and everything. And Joel hated the conspiracy and he sends us videos to this day about Gino denying the conspiracy theories and saying, oh, it's always Gino's fault. It's always UConn's fault. And then people just hate us and UConn, we're the best. And we breathe flavored air. But so anyways, let me get back to finishing the thing. To recap, Nneka and Williams were denied because of previous involvement with Team USA. As I said, Chene was cleared and neutralized player, only one allowed per roster. Erica was fully cleared. Three sisters with Nigerian-born parents, but three different statuses assigned by FIBA. For comparison, Michelle Vogel notes the IOC rules only require an athlete to be naturalized by a country they're competing for. They can compete for a different country 3 years after they competed for the previous country. Nneka last competed internationally, as you said, Terrell, for the U.S. in the 2018 World Cup. So it's been 3 years since she's participated with USA. So she's like, why the heck can I do this? And I'm sure the
Yeah.
exact same case for Elizabeth Williams. So I guess kind of just you've already stated your opinion on what you think they should let her do before the Tokyo Olympics, but I guess just kind of going down a different path here. What do you think about the entire movement for players, American players, to start playing for the countries that they're descendants of in Africa?
I mean, I feel that. Well, yeah, I feel you should play for your country. If you was born in that country and you proud of your country and you rep your country, I feel you should play for your country. Bring just try to bring the goal back to your country. Have some pride for your country. So I feel yeah, you should play for your country.
But what if you were born in America though, like, and you were just like, but your parents are Nigerian, you were raised in a Nigerian household, but you were born and raised in America.
I feel now that's tricky, but I feel in that case, they should make an exception that you should be able to choose, which country you want to play for, whether it's Japan, America, or whatever other country, compared to America. So, yeah, I feel in situations like that, they should make a little adjustment for the athletes.
I think it's a very just interesting kind of movement here that we have going on. You're going from, I don't know, it's kind of like this the entire social justice movement that's happening right now, which
Right.
people might hear in the comments and say, cringe, bruh, cringe, hell speech. But just with without I was talking to Terrell before that, just inside joke before we were recording. But just with the entire social movement, justice movement going on right now, for a lot of people who are kind of just feeling like, yo, this country doesn't care about you, and they show it in their policies and the way that they treat you and the way that they've treated your people ever since you were dragged here involuntarily, ever since your ancestors were dragged here involuntarily. This is where you're from. These are where your people, this is where your blood comes from. These are, your descendants. This is who you truly are.
Right. And you right on that. And the main thing that kills me is like, it's like, you know what? This is what it is. Shut up and accept it. And this has been going on too long. It's like, it's time for a change, man. Like, I know things is never going to be the way, us black people and, colored brown people would like for it to be, but it's going to have to budge eventually, some way. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to, because if not, it's going to be a lot of chaos in the street, a lot of dying, a lot of foolishness. But what can you say, man? Just when you're dealing with stubborn people, sometimes you got to do stubborn things. You know what I'm saying? Not promoting any violence or anything, anybody. But I'm just saying, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the freedoms that you want in this country, as history has shown us.
Right. And one thing that I will say, in making the case for repping America and the reason why I love America, the reason why I love America is that we can have these discussions and we can say this without fearing to be killed for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course you can get technical and say, oh, they can kill you, with all the conspiracies. If you think of conspiracies enough, you're gonna overthink it and you're gonna never want to go outside again. All right, just giving you guys a heads up on that. But for uh just in the literal sense, the reason why I love America is because we can have discussions on, all right, I want to improve this. I think this should be improved in America. Okay, well, what can we do about it? We can talk to our lawmakers about it. We can, you know, we can go out and do the different things. We can advocate. We can speak out against things that we don't think are right and come up with solutions. And if you say it enough with enough people and you put enough pressure on them, things can be changed. And it might not be the exact change you want, but they're open to it. And that's what America's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a democracy. That is what I love about America. That is what I love about what I would say, I guess, my country, because I was born here and I was raised here. America is all I know. So for my country, to represent my country, I would say that's one of the reasons why I would, if I was an athlete in those shoes. And, but if you want to go the African descendant route, heck, who am I to tell you don't do that? Oh, you ain't never been to Africa. That's whack. I mean, if you want to represent your African country and where you really came from and where it's home for you before your ancestors were involuntarily dragged over here across the pond. You know what I'm saying? And your entire existence and just history and knowing your lineage and who you are as a person, having that scrubbed off, right, by a terrible, terrible system 400 years ago. If you want to go ahead and do that for where you came from and where your bloodline is, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I'm not mad at it. So that's how I feel about that. And I guess also while we were kind of speaking about social justice and change and anything, just kind of fishing. I doubt you watched it, but just to ask you, Maya Moore 30 for 30 came on last night. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. But I've heard good things about I definitely heard good things about it. But I'm gonna check it out tonight before I go to sleep. I was meaning to get to it today, but I got a little busy and doing things. But I'm definitely gonna check it out, man. Maya Moore, great player, man. Love her to death. Um, and I like the little active, her being into active. Excuse me, everybody. I can't get that word out my mouth right now, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I'm glad that she went that route. And I was thinking back to the group chat. Maybe this might be it. Maybe she might not play anymore.
Yeah, she's done. She's done. After looking at that 30 for 30, some people were making, comments or whatever for the SB speech. But after looking at that 30 for 30, man, she looks happy. And it looks like, excuse me, I think it goes back to like just the basics of life, of like what is the purpose of life and what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what brings you fulfillment, what is contentment, what is fulfilling your purpose here on this earth. This is someone who is at the peak. Like, it doesn't get much bigger than Maya Moore in women's basketball. It just doesn't. And to leave all that and the fame, and the way that the documentary showed it from the behind the scenes aspect, because the whole thing to me, I just had a lot of questions about it. It was kind of like, Maya Moore is leaving to fight for a case for this man. And I was like, okay. And then the man got out and it was like, you see the cameras and Maya Moore's crying. I'm like, that's a feel good story. Great job, Maya Moore. And then, she's doing the little press run with it. I'm like, okay. And then like 10 days later, it's like Maya Moore married the man that she freed. And I'm like, hold on now. I'm like, so
Yeah,
I
yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop too, because everything was
yeah,
like so sudden. Like, hold up, first she
exactly.
was fighting to get him out, and now they married. Like, what's going
And
on?
they
Like,
got married right away. So I'm looking like, did she just free this man because she thought he was attractive? Like, I just had like a bunch of questions. Like, I questioned like the genuineness of it. I just had a bunch of questions. in this
Right.
movie.
Me too. You know, I mean, who am I to judge anybody? But yeah, I had a lot of questions myself. I was like, hopefully this is the right thing she's doing, and a whole bunch of stuff just was popping in my head. But never know. Maybe this might be love, true love. You know what I mean? Might everything might work out. Hopefully it does.
Well, the doc, like I was about to say, it explained it. It explained like the backstory behind it, and I was like, this makes much more sense now. This is
Right.
acceptable. There is, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, people's business is people business. There was another part where I was like, but it ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay
Right.
out your relationship and your love. But as far as the getting married right after he got out of prison, it was something, I don't want to spoil the documentary. I just say it was something that was explained in the documentary of what was really going on behind the scenes. And Maya Moore's just a private person. So to see that, and then the end of the doc was so beautiful, man. It was just, oh my gosh, it was very good, very good, very great job by ESPN and stuff like that. But like you said, like I think a lot of times, especially now with kind of such a huge movement, you know, me being the person I am, my first reaction to a lot of stuff is skepticism of, okay, how much do you really care about this? Because you see it with the ESPN situation with Rachel Nichols, of like she was one of the main people who was speaking out about stuff, and the Black Lives, she's speaking out about all these things, and great job Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, who Kwame Brown be getting on all the time, but she was talking about that stuff. And, it comes out a year later, the audio, what she really saying behind the scenes about Black people getting opportunities because it's a diversity chance. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
um, I don't know. With a lot of these things, I'm skeptical always because you never know people's true intentions.
But
And,
you got to think. I mean, you got to think about it. Is she really lying? Do they really want to give colored people jobs like that? Like,
but that's the thing though, Terrell. Okay, here's my response to that. Even if that's the case, it's like I feel like you have to acknowledge it like this. We all have our privileges, right? We all have
right,
privileges at different levels and different things. So it's like my privilege is I'm a Black straight man. Okay. So I get in because I'm a diverse hire because I'm Black. Or I get in because or I life is easier for me to navigate because I'm straight. Or what's another, okay, here's another privilege I have. I grew up knowing both of my parents. And I stayed mostly I grew up in a split household. I grew up mostly with my mom in the suburbs of Atlanta. So it's like, and then my dad was in the city of Atlanta. So spending most of my childhood in a kind of sheltered suburban environment, that's a lot of privilege. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was naive to like the other side, you know what I'm saying, city life, or a more kind of rougher neighborhoods or anything like that. But for the most part, I spent most of my childhood not having to worry about safety and walking home from the school bus to my house, or walking from the
right.
school to my house because I lived in the suburbs, people walking their dogs. So it's like, that is my privilege. All right. So for Rachel Nichols, she has a lot of privilege as well. She's a white woman. All right. So if you choose one or the other, Maria Taylor or Rachel Nichols, either way, one person is going to get it because they need a woman on the table. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, you're right on that.
So it's
But
like, okay,
you
go
got to
ahead.
think though, what are the producers' preferences though? You know what I mean? So me, this is how I look at it. Like, you know how the NFL has the Rooney Rule where they have to, interview a certain amount of minority coaches, and I feel that's kind of like in the work environment as far as in like ESPN, they they have a policy like, okay, there's not enough black faces on it, so we got to get some more black faces on it. So we already know, for one, for a woman, it's already hard going against, competing with the men as far as in, the men sportcasters in sports. So being a black woman, that automatically, I'm pretty sure, even though I'm not even in that field of work, but I'm pretty sure the pressure is very hard. You know what I'm saying? So
For
compared to
sure,
their
for
other
sure.
not saying that their counterparts don't have a heart, because I'm pretty sure they do. But I'm pretty sure they gotta step it up way more than their counterparts do for them to have to get any kind of success in the industry. So I understand, like, I'm looking at it on the flip side, like, it wasn't that she was what she said sounded messed up, but it was kind of true. They did it behind the scenes, they did it on the stream just because she was black. Like, you know what, we got to throw this bone to her, because if not, it's not going to look good. So that's how I look at it. Even though we'll never know that, but I'm pretty sure that they have those little meetings, and I'm pretty sure that probably, if it's any truth to that, I'm pretty sure that kind of meeting was something was said to that point about that situation as far as her getting that job.
Here's my thing on it as well. I see, okay, all right, I acknowledge what you say. And I agree with a lot of it. What I'm saying is also you have to look at it like this. In 99% of these situations, right? Majority of the public is gonna side with who? The non-black woman. like like all of these scenarios. And it's like, dang, if we ain't gonna defend ourselves, who's gonna defend us? You know what I'm saying? Because roles are reversed, right? And
Right.
say, because this is what people was getting on Steven Jackson and them for. If the roles were reversed, and this was with the white man and the black man, right? And the black man got the spot on the desk because the black man is more diverse, and they had too many white people. If that happened, and a black woman got up there and said, "Dang, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Tommy is right. Maybe Joe did get a spot on the desk just because he black." Folks will tear her up. They're like, "Do you know how much the black man goes through? Do you know the fact that we get this one thing? Okay, we got this one thing. And so what? The rest of the world is against, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would tear her up.
Right. I mean, that's that's
So
that's
so
that's
so so
just
so so that's all I'm saying. It's like if we don't defend our own, who's gonna defend us?
right. I mean, that's going to be the natural response when it comes to us defending a black woman in that
But
position.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Terrell. It's like if this was a black man, right? And a black woman
Right.
said the black man got the job just because XYZ, and I agree with the white man, they will kill the black woman for saying that. How dare you do that against your own people? You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
so now I feel like now the roles are reversed, and it's black men speaking on black women, and then dang, it's all it's well, the white woman got a point. Maybe she got in, we have to be real with ourselves, y'all. We have to be
Right.
objective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and I don't want to sound like that, but I was just saying on the flip side. You know what I'm saying?
no,
But
no,
of
no.
course,
I totally hear what you're saying. I totally hear what I was just presenting the other side of the argument. What a lot of people on the outside, what their responses might be to that, because I mean, I don't know. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. But go ahead.
right? No, no, no. But you're right though. I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to take up for Rachel Nichols, because I'm definitely not. I was just saying, like, I'm pretty sure that those executives up there and owners of ESPN, being that I'm pretty sure they have some kind of rule like that they just can't. I mean, they got to have some kind of diversity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if that's the reason why she got the job. Not saying that she's not, Maria Taylor's not any good, because she's a hell of a broadcaster. So I look at it like this. Like I said, it's a touchy situation, man. It's a touchy subject, and we could go back and forth for a day on it, but we would never really know the real to the situation. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody from behind one of those closed doors of ESPN just come out and be like, well, this is what it is, and just let it out. So we're
They
gonna spec.
have. They have. A few ESPN folks have actually. And they said this is ESPN's culture. Salute to everybody. Salute to Mike Hill, who came out. Salute to pretty much everybody on Dan Le Batard show done came out. Dan Le Batard himself. Who else? Who else came on Dan Le Batard? Amin talked about it on Dan Le Batard. It was a few.
Yeah,
I think it was
Dan,
Michael and
Dan always,
Jamel.
Dan Lebatard always goes in. He always goes,
but
always goes in.
okay. So I have a last question for you, but before we move on to basketball, and the people in the comments might be like, yes, amen. But before we move on to basketball, have you ever watched, right, a mediocre white man on TV, right, in sports media? Did, have you ever watched him and been like, he only got this job because he a white man?
Yeah, Skip Bayless.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never looked at like if I saw a mediocre white dude on TV, I'd just be like, oh, he's not good. I wouldn't even think about the demographics. I wouldn't even think about like, oh, he's not good. He's only up here because he's white and he's a man. Like I would never think that. Like me personally. So it's like,
Like, yeah,
go
you
ahead.
know what? To be honest, that never crossed. I mean, it have crossed my mind, but I never like really dug deep into it. But
Yes, you don't think about
I
it
can,
when you watch a
I
white
can imagine.
because it's normal to see on TV a white man talking about sports on TV. Like it's just normal.
Yeah, but when you like, all right, in my younger years when I used to listen to sports, it's like I never really caught on to like the things I catch on to now. Like when I listen to them, it's like before I used to listen to sportcasters and it was like whatever they said was the gospel. Like, what they said was what it was. Until I really started analyzing things and I was like, you know what, it's like they just go with like like they be having an agenda just to like they just be saying out of this world things like
They don't be
and
knowing what they
I be look
saying, bro, and they get paid
yeah, like
millions
they
to
don't
do
be
it.
having no kind of analytics, no nothing. They just be talking off their head and I'd be like, what is he talking about? Like, once you like really start knowing sports and when
But
you
look,
hear
but look, but look, Terrell. Here goes. Here goes the question. But have you ever said he only up here because he's a white man?
I say that, but like I said, I say that about Skip Bayless because I just listened to some of his takes and for him to been in the game for so long, I was like, yeah, back then they just didn't care who they hired. They just let anybody in. And he just
But I feel like Stephen A. has the same level of takes as Skip. Like they're both like equally hot take ish. Not
me
much.
personally, me personally, Stephen A really don't have sport knowledge. If you really listen to
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm
it's like
saying, Terrell.
he just talk big words. But he
But
just
look, Terrell, to Stephen A's defense, I don't put that on Stephen A because ESPN literally doesn't even give him time to study. You know what I'm saying?
I think he be reading off a teleprompter. I think they tell him what to say. He just read it.
Well,
Me personally.
apparently because he couldn't get Benijah Laney's name right. And she the leading scorer, like top 5 scorer in the WNBA. And he talking about, I ain't gonna say her name. And then he couldn't say
Only
the
thing
Nigerian folks' name too.
the only thing that pissed me off with Stephen A is that he had came on air and he was making fun of these the Nigerian brothers that was I think they played soccer.
No,
And he was
it was basketball this week.
basketball,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And when it came to that, I can't pronounce his name right. That Shone Otani, the
Yeah,
Asian guy.
Otani. Yeah,
Yeah.
the baseball player.
Yeah, he basically had made a comment about he shouldn't be the face of MLB baseball. And not even a day, it wasn't even 24 hours. It was a couple hours later, he was automatically on TV apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend the Asian community. What about your own community? You ain't send no apology to the Nigerian brothers that you had
Blue,
your little about.
blue.
Like, exactly. Like, I just don't understand it. It's like, I be feeling like they just choose certain people to get on TV and just say certain things about a certain group of people that just don't it it'll stick to certain people ears, but people who really know and see through the bull, they already like, yo, look at this clown. You know what I'm saying? So as a matter of fact, I just feel we just really getting a little is really getting a little bit too political when it comes to this racial stuff. I think we need to get back to the sports because it's getting deep. It's getting deep.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. And we getting back to the sports, but we just wrapping it up. I don't have a problem with Stephen A. Because well, no, well, like he said, something like that is like, bro, okay, you got to check it. But also at the same time of Stephen A. just not knowing stuff, like I said, they don't give him time to know stuff. Like he doing the NBA finals tonight. The post game show gonna end at like 1 a.m. Eastern. Then he's gonna get up 8 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern the next morning to do pre-production for First Take that comes on at 10 a.m. Eastern. And he's been doing that every day for
Yeah,
the
he
past
just go on air.
five, six
He just
years.
he'll just go on air and freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
if he's on
but
the
that's what I'm saying. If you're literally working around the clock 24/7, 365 days a year, how do you have time to actually watch the game? He doesn't. So he doesn't know what he's talking about because you don't give him time to get to study and prepare to know what he's talking about. You don't give him a break. You don't give him a day. So that's why I can't get on Stephen A. Like I know everybody else can about like he doesn't know anything because they don't give him time to know anything. But yeah, man.
right,
Oh, go
but
ahead.
but you got to say if you're a so-called journalist, it was your job to it's your job to know these things, even if it's your off time. Me personally, if I'm a famous journalist and and I'm a known household name like Stephen A. Smith is, I'm gonna know my shit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna just get on TV and just
12
say
million a year.
anything. Yeah, well, I guess if you're getting paid like that, I guess if they gonna let it fly, then I guess I'll probably get on TV and say bubblegum crap too. So, it is what it is, man. But I used to like Stephen A. Smith, man, but over the years, man, it's like I just really lost a lot of respect for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's too inconsistent with what he do, man. You know what I mean? And reason why I say that, man, because like I
Think
said,
he's human, bro. Like you got to give ESPN got to give him a break. He needs PTO. He needs
right,
vacation. Like, I mean, you can't expect a human to go at that pace at his age. He's not 26. He's not 25. He's not 24. This is a man probably in his what 40s, 50s. This man can't
yeah,
go at the pace he's
yeah,
going.
he gotta, he gotta be touching those 50s.
Is that's what I'm saying. It's like, how the heck do you expect someone to know what they're talking about if you never give them time to gather information to know what they're talking about? That's all I'm saying. Is just people are human at the end of the day. Like I say, like when I talk to you guys on here, when I talk to you, like I lean on you for South Carolina knowledge. Okay, I learned something new about South Carolina. When I'm talking to Joel, I lean on him for UConn knowledge. I expect you to teach me something about UConn when I'm talking to you. When I'm talking to Dante, I expect to lean on him to tell me something because I'm human. I literally can't know every single thing about every single team and every single roster and every single move and who's doing well in practice and who got cut from the team and who's transferring in, who transferring out. I can't possibly keep up with all of that because I'm one
That's
person.
and that's understandable because that's the human side. But when you get on TV, knowing you don't know this stuff, and you get on there just saying any and everything out your mouth about the subject that you know nothing about, it's like the people's looking and like, what is they have? Why is this dude telling me about this team? He don't know nothing. Did you just hear what he's saying? He just ran. If you just listen to what he's saying, he's not giving you any kind of analytics. He's not giving you any kind of scoring averages, how many assists they averages. He just yelling or just saying some crazy ish out his mouth, man. That's just pretty much what it boils down to. And like I said, I I don't I don't dislike him because of his sports knowledge, of his lack of sports knowledge. To be honest with you, I don't like him when it comes to the racist things he do. That's what I don't like him about. You know what I'm saying? I just can't stand him when it comes to that. And that's just my take on the situation when it comes to Stephen A. As far as in, looking at him on TV, I change the channel. But like I said, I lost a lot of respect for him, man. It's like the things I can't bring up, I don't want to bring it up on the channel because it's a sports channel.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I hear you.
I'm
Well,
just
I
gonna
mean,
leave it alone.
this video is already not sports related, so it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I threw that out the window 15 minutes ago, Terrell. Because the next video is going to be all sports. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at this point, let it fly. Whatever take you have, let it fly.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, I'm not gonna get on here and bash the man. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a brother. So I'm not gonna get on here and kill him. But he do need to tighten up, man. That's the things he needs to tighten up on.
Ain't nothing wrong with checking your brothers when your brothers need to be checked.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If you don't check me, are you my brother? Do you really care for me if you don't check me? from time to time.
Yeah,
Yo, Rashad, you was
right.
tripping on this. What
Am
what
I
what you say?
am I my
We
brother's
talk. We is yes, I am. But literally, what we talk about before we recorded, I was talking about something to Terrell about something I was upset with, and he was like, "Rashad, man, don't even give people the validity. Don't even give people the feeling that they did something because that's what they want. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. They want you to do that. You guys seen the Joe video, PSA, whatever that I did. That's the type of person I am because I don't take disrespect for me or the people that I rock with. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but he's like, don't do that because that's what people want. So in that moment, Terrell was like, "Yo, Rashad, chill, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna handle it this way." And that's how you handle it as your brother's keeper. So it's like every now and again you can check your brother. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, that's my opinion, but yeah. Any last words,
right?
Terrell, for
Yeah,
for this video? Oh, go ahead.
I wish I did have his number on speed dial because I definitely hit him up and had to put a bug in his ear like, yo, bro, you need to tighten up, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going a little bit out of control.
12 million. You know how many kids look up to Stephen A. and think when I grow up I want to be Stephen A.
I can imagine.
A lot of kids, bro. A lot of kids. He's making 12 million a year. Not 12
Right,
million in this whole
right.
contract over 6 years. He's making 12 million a year and he's still
Right.
underpaid. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of
You're
money in that
influencing a
business.
lot of kids.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of money in that TV business, especially in
Let me know.
ESPN.
Let me know when you find it, Terrell. Let me know when you find it. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, man. But any last words before we get into these highlights?
Nah, I think we pretty much handled the whole situation.
All right, y'all. Now that we got all the political and serious talk out the way and the philosophy and the racial stuff, now time for the time that you all have been waiting for. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 2K subs. Next video, we are going to be reacting to some basketball highlights. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball.
Basketball.